Gen V Season 2 Episode 1. Let's talk about it. If you haven't watched it yet and you don't want any spoilers, then please click off this video. Season 2 starts off with a bang. We open in 1967. Dr. Thomas Godokin, the founder of Godokin University, oversees a secret experiment known as the Odessa Project. Scientists inject themselves with the blue serum that looks an awful lot like Compound V. Then the results are, well, shall we say, catastrophic. Bodies mutate, burst into flames, and Godokin, well, he collapses amid the chaos. Whatever they were trying to create, it went very, very wrong. Cut to present day, the world has changed and Homelander pretty much runs the entire country. Back at Godokin University, there's a new man in charge and his name is Dean Cypher. But he's not running a school anymore. He's building an army. Meanwhile, Jordan and Emma are at Elmira, the adult rehab center / prison. The two are told that they'll be allowed back at Godokin, but only if they play ball with the vote. They'll have to face the press, say the right things, and keep their mouths shut about what happened last season. And if they refuse, they go straight back to Elmira. And if you're like me, you're probably wondering, now where the hell is our girl Marie? Our good sis is on the run. We find out that Marie somehow managed to escape. We also learn about what happened to Andre. Since Marie managed to escape, Andre was like, okay, I'm gonna try this too. I'm gonna get myself and my friends out of Elmira. Things didn't go as planned and Andre pushed his powers to the limit, which resulted in his death. Now the reason for this being that the real actor Chance Perdomo passed away last year. So instead of recasting the role of Andre, they decided to include that into the storyline for season 2, which I think is such a beautiful way to honor Chance. Like I mentioned before, our good sis Marie is on the run and she's also trying to look for her sister Annabeth. Yeah, there's this dog person who is after her and they eventually catch up with her. Marie puts up a good fight, but the girl's struggling. Luckily for Marie, Annie comes to the rescue, aka Starlight. Annie tells Marie that she needs to go back to Godokin and find out everything she can about Odessa. Marie's like, oh hell no, I just came out of that prison, like I'm not gonna go back. Now Jordan, Emma and the rest are at a frat party. They're both suffering. I mean, it's understandable. They were in captivity for how many months and they were tortured and they've been through a lot of stuff. Not only were they imprisoned, I mean, they lost a friend of theirs. They're really going through it. Emma comes across a video of Marie that went viral on TikTok. So she's like, oh my gosh, Marie. She goes and shows that video to Jordan. Of course, you know, Jordan is still mad, but they eventually agree to go and look for Marie. Later on, Marie, Jordan, and Emma reunite and they tell her what happened to Andre. Obviously, Marie is really sad to hear about Andre's death. But soon after, Miss Kate shows up. She tries to use her powers to get Marie back to Godokin. And of course, Jordan's like, oh hell no, you will not touch my girlfriend. I know I'm currently pissed at her because she abandoned me, but you are not gonna touch her. And Jordan uses their powers and Kate goes flying. She hits her head and cracks it open. I don't feel sorry for Kate. You would think she would have learned her lesson by now and, you know, wouldn't try to use her powers on her friends like she did in season 1. Of course, Kate is like, no. What did you guys think about the first episode of Gen V? Like, personally, I did like it and I think it was a great start to the season. However, it did feel a bit off. Like, in what world does Marie escape and abandon her friends? And Jordan, the Marie we got to know in season 1, would never abandon her friends or her girlfriend, boyfriend, them friend. Never. So what they did here was very weird. Don't like the way they wrote that. That's not the girl we know. It really felt like we skipped a few moments. I obviously understand that they had to rewrite the complete season due to the tragic loss of Chance Perdomo, so I do give them grace for that. It did feel like we're missing some backstory.